I'm Robert Paris for B News Sports. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to this special edition of Red Devil Classics. For many years, it's been a tradition for Burlington to face off against Lexington on Thanksgiving Day. This year, due to the MIAA regulations regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, the Red Devil football team would not be returned to Varsity Field until late February. So in lieu of a 2020 Thanksgiving game, we're throwing it back to a handful of past matchups between the Red Devils and the Minutemen. For our first match, we head back to 2002. For more, here's fellow B News sports reporter, Phil Acaro.
Thanks, Robert. To start off this Thanksgiving Day marathon, we go back to Thanksgiving 2002 as the Burlington Red Devils square off against the Lexington Minutemen at Harold Crumb Field in Lexington. For many years, this is one of the few road games that BCAT would cover. However, Lexington Community Television, later known as Lex Media, would sometimes cover the game and share it with us. Now let's head back to Thanksgiving 2002 as the Burlington Red Devils take on the Lexington Minutemen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the frozen tundra of Dr. Harold Crumb Field. I'm Max Rowlinger along with Jack Joshi-Powell for what is the 30th anniversary of this storied rivalry between Lexington and Burlington. In the 30 years that these two teams have battled it out, Lexington leads the all-time series, 15 wins to Burlington's 12, with 2 ties as well. This year, these two teams have gone in complete opposite directions. The Red Devils of Burlington come in with a very solid record at 6-4, good for 4th place in the Middlesex League. Lexington, on the other hand, is the league cellar dweller at 1-9, though that record does not reflect the closeness of many of their games. Jack, as you know, when these two teams meet, you can just throw out the records because both teams are going to want this game very badly today.
Well, yeah, you may think that there's a lack of motivation for Lexington being 1-9, and as you said, the cellar of the division. But, however, they want to keep the trophy in there for Thanksgiving, and they want to win this game just as badly as Burlington does. And it's absolutely key that they both go out there and play really hard, because it's going to be sloppy. I tell you, the field is ice. There might be plays, people run in an open field, and they'll trip up over themselves. There's going to be fumbles. The coaches are going to keep it on the ground, because passing plays are just going to get tipped and they may be gobbled up by the defenses. So that is going to be essential in this game. Keep it solid. Keep the clock running.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, Jack, as we go down to the field now for senior announcing.
Senior players from Burlington. Number 19, Captain Matt DeRosa. Number 25, Ryan Butcher. Number 51, Rich Giovanni, Captain. Number 53, Christopher Prano. Number 95, Captain Kevin Hill. Number 62, Robert Roma. Number 72, Justin Patterson. And number 77, Mike Curry. Number 87, Darren Kalar. And the Burlington head coach once again, Sean McGuire. And Number 80, Steve Matarian. Number 84, John Trevini. Number 86, Jeremy Cohen. And the high school senior captain, number 2, Joe Solomon. Was a Burlington native who moved to Lexington and entered Washington High School as a freshman with the class of 2003. He was a fierce competitor, the ultimate unselfish team player. Steve was a member of the Washington freshman football team, hockey team, and he planned on playing lacrosse until Steve was diagnosed with brain cancer during his freshman year. Steve fought his battle against the disease, inspiring us with his grace and thoughtfulness about his even in the midst of the endless rounds of surgery and chemotherapy. The last time we saw Steve with the family was with us at this Thanksgiving Day game 2 years ago, when he was able to sit in the booth with us and cheer for his home team. And while talking about his planned return to the football field, Steve passed away just 2 months later, leaving the legacy, the courage, the commitment, and love for his teammates. So please stand now so we can have a moment of silence in Steve's memory. Thank you. And at this time, we would like to invite Ken and Maddie Teitelbaum, Steve's parents, to join the seniors in the center of the football field. At this time, the senior captains will be presenting a Lexington High School game jersey bearing the number 1 and signed by Steve's entire team and classmates of the 2003 season. We can all please remain standing. The high school student tonight, Al Ryan, can sing our national anthem.
On the
The referee for today's game is going.
All right, I'm going to start talking.
The head linesman is Peter Kerrigan Jr. The line judge is Rick Santilli. And once again on the clock is Al Root.
Well, very moving tribute right there for a fallen Lexington teammate. As now we're about to kick off the 30th anniversary of the storied rivalry between Lexington and Burlington as the captains go onto the field. And Jack, as we said earlier today, this is going to be a dogfight to the end.
Absolutely. I was walking on the field before the game, and I almost slipped up. It's so slippery out there. It's solid ice. They did the best job they could to clear the snow. It's impossible to see the lines. In fact, they don't even exist. They've actually marked black markers at the far end of the field. They've marked the 10-yard line, the 20, and just black, what seems like boxes. It's almost ridiculous, but tough day for the officials to go to work, but they've got to, and they'll do the best they can.
Well, the two teams march onto the field, and they get ready for their final huddle of the season, as this is going to be one heck of a dogfight today.
We'd also like to take this time to put a special thanks out to the Lexington DPW. For not them, this field wouldn't be in the condition it is today. They worked tirelessly all day yesterday, last night, to prepare the field for today's contest. We'd like to thank them personally again, and also if you could assist them, they put trash receptacles throughout the stadium to make their day easier so they can get home with their families. Please take the trash, put it in the receptacles during the game and at the end of the game. And once again, we'd like to thank the DPW.
Well, the field is icy. It's going to be slippery, but we are ready for some football. As the band starts to play, Burlington will receive the kick. Lexington is going to kick it off.
Well, Kurt Chisholm's a good kicker, but he's also a very good tackler. And the Lexington Special Teams unit has had troubles all year. And I tell you, there would have been a lot of punts and kicks returned for touchdowns if it weren't for good old Kurt Chisholm, who can wrap up pretty much anybody in open field.
Kurt Chisholm should be the MVP this season because he's been more valuable to this team than any player. So Matt DeRosa and Jake Daigle are back deep to take the kickoff. And he really flubbed that one to number 87, but the ball is loose.
Goodness! Lexington!
Not what he intended. Obviously not what he intended. But Lexington, with a surprise onside kick that it looked like it was just flubbed.
I didn't think that was intentional, but that is huge.
So what a way to start the game for the Minutemen, as now they are the ones that have the ball on what obviously did not look like an onside kick. It looked more like a flub, but with these snowy conditions, Burlington should have been prepared for that.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, the odds of that happening very slim. I really want to know if that was intentional or not.
So Booth and company go to work. Give this to Spartacino, breaks one tackle, still on his feet, and he's brought down by number 57. That is Scott Kaplan.
Well, there was an absolute stiff at the at the line of scrimmage, so Spartacino tried to roll to the outside, and there was that big linebacker waiting for him.
Both teams are really going to have to rely on the running game because it's going to be very difficult to pass the ball today. With these conditions, running the football is the way to go.
But they are without a very important running player. Winston Fletcher, a few weeks back, ran for over 100 yards.
So it's going to be second down for Lexington. Once again, the give is Spartacino. Spartacino breaking tackles, still on his feet, and he will be very close to a first down. A nice run right there of about 5 yards for Jesse Spartacino.
Spartacino on the carry for Lexington, brought down by the 18, Joe Colangelo.
Joe Colangelo makes the stop right there for Burlington, as
3rd and 5.
It's going to be about 3rd and 5 with the ball placed on the 36-yard line for Lexington.
Well, the best thing about Spartacino is his pure determination to get as many yards as he can.
He is a really tough in-between runner to bring down. He is great between the tackles. He's not that fast to the outside, as here he gets the give again, and it looks like he got tripped up, and I don't know if he got the first down.
It'll probably be about 4th and 3 is my guess. And
they're going to have to go for it because there's no way that they can kick a field goal in these conditions.
no way they can kick the field goal, and the punt probably sail into the end zone and give them similar field position anyway.
And so they're going to go for it. Phelan checks into the ball game.
They only need 3 yards, and, just a solid pound up the middle should get you there in these conditions.
So here we go, a split back formation here with Thielen and Spartacino in the backfield. Give us to Spartacino, and he has the first down.
Yeah, he got that. That's exactly what I said, a head dive. It's so hard to bring people down in the snow. It's cold. Every hit hurts a lot more. Every contact hurts a lot more. And it's a lot harder to bring people down, and that is going to work every time.
If they just pound it up the middle, they should be okay, as that was just great effort right there by Jesse Spartacino to break that initial tackle and gain enough for the first down. So 1st and 10 on the Burlington 29. Once again, they go to a split back formation. Busa calling signals. Handoff is again to Spartacino, and oh no, it's not. It's the Busa's going to take the quarterback sneak for the touchdown. He fooled everybody, including me. What a play by Mike Busa.
Excellent play calling there. Like I said, you want to run the football. The play action fake into the QB sneak. Busa has got incredible speed running down left field, and it's already 6-0 Lexington.
Unbelievable play right there by Mike Busa as he completely fooled everyone, including the announcers here, with that excellent QB run. He just raced right down the sidelines, was able to avoid the first tackler, and he saw nothing but daylight as Lexington strikes first blood here, 6-0.
I saw that Busa held on to the football, and I thought he was just going to get run down immediately, but it seemed like he just outran everybody in those cornerbacks. I mean, it was explosive Busa speed, and now the extra point will be attended by Kurt Chisholm.
And they're going to take a timeout. Timeout is called by Lexington, as that is really the way that they want to start. As you know, Lexington has really struggled this season with offensive touchdowns, especially here in the first half. But that is the way to start off this football game on Thanksgiving against a feared rival in Burlington, and a great way to start off this game by the quarterback sneak that fooled the Burlington defense and got them 6 points.
Well, I was wondering, the reason they have Busa in at quarterback is because he's got a great throwing arm. One game they started Joe Solomon for his mobility. But there he showed incredible mobility.
Chisholm, the extra point is no good. Sailed wide right.
Well, Kurt Chisholm, I don't know, we'll have to see how the other team does kicking, but either that's the conditions or Kurt Chisholm's foot is just dead, because I've seen Kurt Chisholm kick. He kicks a lot better than that, and that was very disappointing, but still 6 points on the board out of what we presume was going to be a Burlington offensive drive.
Absolutely, is the field conditions here are especially tough to kick in, and I mean, I guess it's acceptable that he missed that one, but hopefully he won't miss many more after that. They should probably go for 2 from now on, and the need arises.
Well, Kurt Chisholm out to kick again, and I think Burlington will be ready for that. I don't believe it was an onside kick. I believe it was a shank.
Absolutely
Lexington
not.
Pounced on it.
So Burlington,
but
yeah.
Burlington's ready for it now.
They are ready for this. They're not going to be fooled again.
Everyone's short.
So Chisholm set to kick it off. And he flubs it again, and it goes right to Burlington.
Well, I don't know what's going on. Is that the best that he can do? He's getting abuse from the sidelines, and he's just shrugging his head, saying, "It's ice cold. I can't kick it." And you can't really blame him.
The conditions are horrifying for a kicker here, as Chisholm obviously did not mean to onside kick the first one. It got a lucky Lexington bounce, and they were able to convert on that for the touchdown. But the field conditions here are especially bad, and it's going to be extremely hard to kick the football. So there's a run for Burlington. The give was to, didn't quite see it, I think it was number 29, the fullback John Reel, the sophomore.
Well, starting at quarterback for Burlington is Ben Reid, who's 6'3", junior, 180 pounds. He's a solid player. He's got the size, intimidation, 6'3", 180. He's apparently not very mobile, but he can throw very well. I saw him in warm-ups.
So they go to a Maryland eye here. Give this time is again a number 29, and he is going to be about a couple yards shy of the first down. Once again, the give there is to John Reel. On Real. Unusual to see a fullback get these many carries so early in the game, Jack, as it's really the fullback that's used for short yardage situations and the screen passes, but apparently he is the rusher of choice here for the Burlington Red Devils.
Well, I'm sure they're just trying to hold on to the football, and fullbacks are usually the best at doing that.
So once again, they go to Maryland I. This time the handoff is to number 5, breaking tackles, and he has a first down.
Yeah, absolutely a first down there. Great blocking was really the key to that one. He had an open lane to the right side, and he just kept running until he got shoved down by, it looked like Joe Solomon that brought him down.
I think it was. It's Jake Daigle, the sophomore, 5'11", 190 pounds, picks up the first down for Burlington as they look to maybe take the lead here, since Lexington did miss that extra point. Once again, they go to that dangerous free running back backfield. Calling signals. Once again, the give is to number 5. And
oh, beautiful stop there by Jesse Spartacino.
Spartacino playing really well on offense as well as defense, as he's really been able to stuff a lot of runs this year from that defensive line position, as he's really a double threat in both running back and defensive line.
I think actually right now Jesse Spartacino is playing linebacker. And if you look at this, they have virtually no secondaries because Burlington has come out here with no wide receivers. They're doing many people in the line and a 3 running back backfield. They don't look like they're going to throw all game.
It doesn't look like it. I mean, it's a 3 running back backfield, but can they stop it? And number 29 on his feet, still going, and he has a first down.
Well, a bad missed tackle there by, it looked like Matt Lopez, who had him in the backfield, just couldn't grab on. That's what's hard about this in the snow battle. You see, if he'd have tackled him there, it would have been about a 4-yard loss. Instead, it was about a 14-yard gain. Run to the outside is big because they don't have any cornerbacks out there to stop him.
Absolutely.
And that was the perfect play call for that situation.
The lack of the secondary has really not been good here for Lexington. I mean, obviously, Burlington refuses to throw the football, but nonetheless, if they avoid that first tackle, then it could be very dangerous in the open field. So the gives again to Daigle. Daigle breaking tackle, still on his feet, and he finds daylight. Touchdown, Burlington.
Well, you see what kind of offensive game this is going to be. Unbelievable, already tied up. Burlington keeping pounding it on the ground. This is like a goal line football game when Reading's on the field. I mean, it's basically everybody's on the line. We're seeing what happens. And there, Lexington just got burned. Once they break that first tackle, it's pretty much daylight every time because there is no secondary. There are no safeties. You're not safe at all. Once they break that first tackle, they're going to see daylight.
And Daigle, excellent recognition in the open field, broke the first tackle, went to the outside, and there was nothing but daylight, as Jack said, as he runs in there for what was about a 25-yard touchdown.
Well, I'm very curious to see this, to see how their kicker does in comparison to Kurt Chisholm, who's just been shanking every kick that
Well, it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
Oh, very clever play call after seeing what the kicking conditions are like.
So let's see if they get it. The give, and he didn't get it.
Oh, that is a huge stop, keeping the game tied.
And Joe Solomon is pumped up right now. A huge stop right there.
Keep the game tied, getting the Lexington offense back on the field. Now, what the Lexington special teams unit should be prepared for now is to know that the kicks aren't going far, to be ready to get close like Burlington did.
I'd actually move up my main kick returners up a little bit to about the close to the 30-yard line here, since we know that the kicks are not going to be that good.
Yeah, maybe if you move up the kick returners, you could actually get a kick return starting at about the 30-yard line, which would be huge, because field position has been a big problem for Lexington this year.
We have seen it many times this year. Lexington has struggled with their field position. So looks like it's number 82 for Burlington. That is, oh no, my bad. That is the wide receiver. Oh, no, that is number 82. Number 82 is Dan Georgette, the junior, 5'10", 170. Normal positions are wide receiver and defensive back.
Well, they have 5 guys up front, 3 guys in the middle, and then 3 returners. One of those returners is Hayate Surmaki, the sophomore, who's done great things this year at cornerback. He's a great coverage guy. Won't get that much playing time today with the running-oriented football game.
We all remember that excellent play that he made against Stoneham that put the game into overtime, where Lexington, as we know, lost, but nonetheless, he is a very special player. So it's taken by Solomon, and Solomon, you see the conditions as he just tripped up right there.
Big patch of ice. He can't get accelerating. The moment he tried to accelerate, bam, he slipped up by the ice. They have decent field position at about the 34, but That wasn't a bad kick, considering the conditions. I guess he wasn't trying to rip it because of the conditions, but much better than what we've seen from Chisholm.
This reminds me a lot of that snowball game last year with the Patriots and the Raiders, where the snow was coming down, lots of people were slipping. But obviously these players are not quite the caliber of the Super Bowl champion Patriots, but nonetheless, it definitely reminds me of that game, as people are slipping up everywhere, including Solomon on that last kick return.
Well, I'm hoping as the game moves on, the sun will wear down on the ice, and we'll start to get actually grass.
High formation, Busa calling signals, give to Spartacino, and they read that play perfectly. They knew what was coming all along, and Spartacino had no prayer right there.
Well, Lexington, unlike Burlington, is actually going out there with wide receivers to keep the secondaries back, to maybe open up short runs, which isn't a bad idea. The thing is, Burlington is showing absolutely no wideouts. So Lexington is cramming down the middle, trying to take away the short runs. They weren't able to do that, though, on the last drive.
But the lack of the secondary has really hurt them, especially on that last run by Daigle for the touchdown. A secondary might have been able to stop him from scoring that touchdown, but it was all open field for Daigle as the score is tied 6-6. Busso is going to throw the ball under pressure, looks around, and he is going nowhere. Sacked on the play.
Well, the last thing you want to do is throw a pick, but Ryan Phelan is an incredibly fast wide receiver, and him and Busa they actually recorded one 56-yard pass for a touchdown a couple weeks back, and you might be worried about them hooking up a couple times here today.
So it's going to be 3rd and 14, the ball placed on the Lexington 34-yard line, 4:18 left to go in the first quarter. So, I mean, they have to pass the ball in the situation. Obviously not what they wanted, but they're going to try and run it, and Spartacino's going nowhere. I would have tried to throw the ball, maybe a little screen pass. We could have gone for extra yardage right there. I mean, I know the fields are, the field is slippery, but still, you don't want to get into a punting situation right there.
Yeah, perhaps run up the middle because, Burlington was ready for the pass there, and the toss out to the outside really gives the cornerbacks a chance to slow down the run, and they needed about, 14 yards?
14 yards. So Chisholm is back, and the best he can hope for here is a punt that maybe gets muffed or maybe even a fake, who knows. He's going to punt the ball, and not a bad punt at all considering the conditions. That's going to roll, and they're just going to let it roll. It takes a favorable Lexington bounce near the 20-yard line, so a great punt right there for Kurt Chisholm.
Yeah, big punt there by Chisholm. He's got to be disappointed about what he's done thus far as the kicker, but that was pretty good, and the good thing that Lexington did is they got down there in a hurry and it avoided any return.
So the ball is placed here on the 30-yard line as Burlington will have a chance here to take the lead for the first time in this ball game. And, I mean, as we said, they are not putting any wide receivers to go up, and that means that Lexington is obviously not going to have a secondary.
Yep, they want to keep they want to keep a linebacker or something out to the outside to make sure those outside runs don't break for big gains, which appears what they're doing.
So here's the give. Daigle stacked up, and he is not getting anywhere.
Look about 2 or 3 yards. But then again, 2 or 3 yards, 2, 3, 4 yards, you can just keep running the ball all day if you got the stamina.
If I were Lexington, I mean, you know what's coming, but the thing is, can you stop what's coming? You have to be able to get the first tackle because Daigle, as we saw, is a very dangerous open field runner. They have to be able to make the first tackle, and that is what's going to make or break this ball game today.
Well, something that could be very deadly for Burlington at this point in the game would be sort of a play action into a pass to one of the halfbacks coming out of the backfield. That would be huge, considering there is no Lexington secondary.
Well, they go once again to that Maryland I formation. Give this time is, again, and that's Daigle, and he's going nowhere. They really need to start putting some wide receivers in there to keep the safeties honest, Jack, and I don't know when we're going to see it, but they're eventually going to have to do that.
Well, I don't know if they have to. I mean, the offense has been successful on one drive, 1 for 1. You can't complain about that. But this 3rd down and 8 situation is going to be tough. They do have a wide receiver out there now.
So Reid is calling signals here. They do have one running back in the backfield. That's a Daigle. So he goes back to pass. Looks, fires, incomplete.
Terrible throw there. Way too low. Not quite as far ahead of him. But, he's got on gloves. I don't know if he's used to those conditions. And it's tough to throw out there. But what Busa can do, what Busa was doing in pregame, the way Busa was throwing the football, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a better throw.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Lexington take at least a few chances downfield and maybe open it up a little bit. So Jeremy Dew is back deep here for the Minutemen. And Georgette is back to punt here for Burlington. If he can get off as good a kick as Kurt Chisholm, then the Devils' defense might be in good position here. And it's almost, man, it looks like they got a piece of that. Spartacino takes it. Still on his feet. He could go. Look at him go. Jesse Spartacino. Oh, my goodness. It's a touchdown for Lexington. Jesse Spartacino.
Well, what an interesting play. Well, you see the punt gets blocked. A partial pivot appeared. If not, it was short. Spartacino wasn't supposed to be a punt returner. Comes around from the left. He caught it, and he just took it to the house. Around the outside, got some good blocks, cut back, ran into the end zone.
Excellent heads-up play right there for Jesse Spartacino. With poise that you rarely see from a sophomore player, he alertly saw that the ball was coming right at him, picked it up, and just ran right into the end zone for the touchdown. Excellent play.
Absolutely. Incredible awareness. He was...
Oh! And it's going to be a penalty on Lexington, and this ball is going to come back. I do not believe this. There must have been a hold in there somewhere. That's the only thing that I can think of. There's a holding call against Lexington, and this ball is coming back. So a huge momentum turn here as Lexington had the chance to go up by at least 6 points, and now that ball's coming back as Booz and company go to work on the field. A terribly disappointing play right there for the Minutemen.
Well, I said that Spartacino got good blocks, and he must have holded. He must have gotten, there must have been a holding call on one of those great blocks, because it seemed almost too good to be true.
So Booz and company go back to work here. Lexington still has good field position, but they might not get a touchdown, especially in these conditions. So they go to a 2-formation backfield. Spartacino's in there. And there's going to be a false start call. Looks like somebody on the line moved. There's definitely some movement up front right there as we're going to push this back.
Well, one thing that I didn't mention much is that in this bad condition, there should also be a lot of penalties with sloppy play, slipping. Could be, you know, a lot of players going down, holding on to people, holding face masks, false start, you name it. There should be a lot of them.
Remarkably, that is only the first offensive line penalty we have seen this game, especially in these conditions. So it's going to bring up, I think it's 1st and 15 now. Solomon in the backfield. This time the handoff is to Mason.
Well, Mason is a big-time runner. I've seen him have some explosive runs. He breaks tackles. He's big. He's hard to bring down. And he's fairly fast also. I've seen him have long runs. He gets into open field, but he also has a tendency to get dropped.
He and Spartacino are really a dynamic duo in that Spartacino is more of a power back who can break to the outside, whereas Mason really just eludes that first tackle so well, and then when he breaks to the outside, he's gone. Such an interesting backfield that Lexington has. And a timeout is called here for the Minutemen. Well, during this timeout, we at AT&T Broadband would like to wish the best of luck to Chris Spartacino, a former Minuteman, who this weekend will be playing for Fordham in the 1AA playoffs against Northeastern this coming Saturday. Fordham won their first Patriot League title in school history and will be making their first playoff appearance against Northeastern. That game is at Saturday at 12:30 at Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. And if you have any free times on your hands on Saturday, a great game to go to as Northeastern also making their first playoff appearance in school history.
And Chris Spartacino is the brother of Jesse Spartacino, who's been big already here. Although his touchdown was taken away from him, he's still a big player out there for Lexington.
The Spartacinos have really stocked this Lexington backfield for the last, or for the coming, since Jesse will obviously be playing until he's a senior. We've got a Spartacino backfield for 8 years. Boost under pressure, avoids the rush, looks downfield, going deep, firing, and it's, oh! And it was almost picked off right there.
Well, it would have been tough to pick that one off. It was a one-handed slap-down diving, little short on the throw. Aguomo, number 9, is an incredibly fast athlete. If he could do one thing to improve on his game, it would be his hands. He sometimes drops passes. He's got Randy Moss-like jumping abilities, and he's fast. He can get away from the coverage. but sometimes making that big catch is tough for him.
It looked like he ran a pretty decent route right there, but it just didn't look like Busa was going to be able to connect on that, especially in these conditions. And Busa is not wearing gloves, which I guess helped him to throw that ball so far, but his hands obviously must be pretty cold as Mason once again breaks tackles and probably got about 3 or 4 yards on that
You
one.
can look to them to go for it now with the ball just inside the 30-yard line. It'll be about 4th and 9.
We're obviously not going to put, we're definitely not going to put Chisholm in this ball game. To either kick a field goal or punt. They want to go for it here. They feel like they have the personnel to get this done. Busa has a very strong arm. Spartacino is a back that can break through into the secondary, and Mason is more of your speed back. So we might see Mason in this situation on 4th and 9. But the give is to Spartacino, and Spartacino racked up, still going, and his forward progress has stopped. So that's where we're going to rule the play dead as the offense comes off of the field. It's a nice try, but I would have given the ball to Mason in that situation because he's a little bit more of an elusive back than Jesse Spartacino.
Well, it was a 4th and 12 situation. It would have been a far stretch for them to have hoped to get that run, but he kept running. They never actually brought him down, but obviously the no forward motion rule.
So the Burlington offense comes back onto the field with Ben Reid, their quarterback.
If you're just joining us, it's 6-6 here at the 30th annual Thanksgiving game. Lexington began the game with an attempt of a full kick, ended up being somewhat of an onside kick with a shank, and they got the football and scored.
Reid gives the ball to number Derek Vale as he's racked up by the Lexington defense rather easily.
Yeah, nothing there.
This is going to be a game of who can make the biggest plays, especially on defense. As we've seen, I believe that it was Jake Daigle who made that nice run for Burlington to tie the score up. And then earlier in the game, we saw Michael Busa with an incredibly nifty quarterback sneak that he went the distance on, ran right down the sidelines and scored a touchdown. So the offense has been making some pretty good plays, but the defense is ultimately going to decide this game in these kind of conditions today. So at the end of the first quarter, this game is tied at 6. As Jack, what improvements do you foresee here for Lexington to be able to get the lead going into halftime?
Well, honestly, I'm not too disappointed with what Lexington's done thus far. Obviously, they had a touchdown taken away from them with a holding call, and that was fairly disappointing, but they've had good offensive drives, somewhat short in the running game, but they can make big plays. That's what we've seen thus far this season, a couple of big plays, big runs, big throws, and obviously that beautiful called play action to the QB sneak. They want to see more of those, maybe some more play actions into runs, something that could open a big play while keeping it safe. What we've seen from Burlington thus far has been an offense that just wants to run a goal line offense all the way down the field. They put everyone on the line of scrimmage. They have 3 running backs, and they all try and just pound the run. 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 downs, pick up the first down, keep it going.
And as has been the case all year, penalties have really killed Lexington drives, especially on that run by Jesse Spartacino off that blocked punt. That would have given Lexington the lead, but that holding call has set the team back, and it's still tied at 6. As once again, it looks like they have 1 player in their secondary. They give this time, and that's to Daigle. So as you said right here, Jack, 3-4 yards every time. That is the offensive philosophy of this Burlington football team. And it seems to have worked because they are 6-4, whereas Lexington, who is also trying to pound the football, is in relation 1-9.
Yeah, but 1-9 is somewhat misleading of the goals of what Lexington is trying to accomplish this season. They're 1-9, but what they've been trying to do is get themselves ready for next season and the season after that with the young players like Mike Busa, Jesse Spartacino, and Winston Fletcher to get them involved.
So here we go. Reid is back to pass, has time, looking downfield, and it's almost picked off. Spartacino could have made another huge play right there, but it was batted down. Nice hands right there by Jesse Spartacino. He just couldn't hang on in these conditions.
Well, what I'm impressed by is Jesse Spartacino's awareness. That ball was coming down the middle. It was a little behind Jesse. He got a tip on it, bounced up, but he couldn't find the ball in time to try and pick it off.
So it's going to be 4th and 7 here. And so Georgette is going to be back to punt.
Jeremy Dew and Tal Barron to try and return the punt.
And as we've said earlier, they are moving up here because they know that this punt is not going to be great. And oh, it gets behind him. Georgette's got to pick it up, and he punts the ball away just in time. Oh, what a lucky break for Burlington. A horrible snap. Georgette.
What awareness there by Georgette. The ball it was a terrible snap to the high right of him. He hustles back before any Lexington player can get there, and then picks it up, punts it away. Although Lexington's got better field position than they would have probably, that was great awareness by Georgette. Lexington couldn't take advantage of the high snap.
Those are the kind of plays that really determined the game, and Georgette with an excellent sense of awareness. He knew that the Lexington defenders, if they got hands on him, he might have been safetied. But luckily, he was able to get the ball for Burlington, and now Busa wants a timeout. So Lexington really has had their share of pretty bad breaks, especially on that holding call. And right there, when they probably could have tackled Georgette, an excellent heads-up play right there, and Lexington now has the ball on close to midfield.
Well, if supposing that a defensive lineman had gotten on that kicker, and the snap had gone high, and there had been a defensive lineman right on his back, and he'd have tackled the punter as he was picking up the ball, there was a chance of a fumble, obviously, with him picking up the ball. Either that or he gets safetied, or Lexington has it inside the 5.
So we go back to an I formation here. Now they're going to a split, and Mason and Spartacino in the backfield. Give us to Sparty, and he's not going anywhere.
Well, no hole, and you saw that with Spartacino's hesitance. He just stopped as soon as he got close to the line and didn't go anywhere.
Maybe it's time to do a little bit of a play change here for Lexington. A screen pass or two might help their cause, because as we've seen, a screen pass is really just a running play that could potentially get you more yardage. I mean, Jesse Spartacino is a great back for these kind of situations, cold weather, tough defense. He's able to break through the defense, but eventually this stale play calling might need to be revamped a little bit as Busa goes back to pass, looking downfield, and it almost picked off again.
Well, a high throw. He had Jeremy Dew wide open. He ran a nice cutback route. Busa just couldn't find him. And the moment he found him, it was a little late, and he threw it too high, and it got tipped by Dew, and then nearly picked off. But fortunately for Lexington, it was just batted down.
So second down here as Phelan checks into the ball game. Third down.
Bat though. Come here for a second.
So on this third down play, looks like it's about 3rd and 10. So I don't know. Would you think of a passing play here, Jack, or you just kind of hope for the best on a run?
Oh, they're going to go with a toss.
They're going to go with the toss. Spartacino breaking tackle, still on his feet. There goes Jesse Spartacino, and they have a first down.
Well, you know, what we would have said if they hadn't converted that is maybe they should have gone to Mason or someone more explosive. But that time they converted. First down, Lexington. Beautiful run by Spartacino. He's having the best game here today out of any player.
And Mike Busa appears to be hobbling, and that could be a really bad sign here for the Minutemen. He hobbled to the line of scrimmage, and we hope that he's okay. 1st and 10 for the Minutemen as Jesse Spartacino just uses his unbelievable power to bust right through that line and get the first down. Unbelievable play by Jesse Spartacino. 1st and 10 now for the Minutemen. Bruce is still in there. Give to Spartacino again. Spartacino breaks tackle, still on his feet, and out of bounds. And he will be very close to another first down.
Well, look at Mike Booster. What's going on there?
It looks like maybe his leg is injured. That would be my guess.
I think he took a hit on that pitch that he gave to Spartacino. They got great penetration in the middle of the line, which is why it opened up to the right side.
We did not see the hit that he took because we were focusing on Jesse Spartacino's run, but it appears that he was grabbing his leg as he walked back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 2. Give to Spartacino, and he will be very close to the first down, but a flag on the play. This could be false start. Maybe a hold. This will probably be against Lexington, but we're going to get a signal from the referee here. Encroachment on Burlington. So encroachment on Burlington, and so Lexington will get a first down out of that. 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line. So 1st and 10, ball placed on the 20-yard line. They go once again to the split back formation. Give to Spartacino. Spartacino breaking tackle, still on his feet. And he moves even further into the red zone territory.
Well, like I said, one of the best things about Joshi-Powell was desire. And you saw there, he got bumped so hard, he spun around 180 degrees and then got slammed down on his back, but he still got about 4 or 5 yards.
It looks like the Burlington defense is really having trouble right now stopping Jesse Spartacino and the Minuteman offense, because in this cold weather situation, Jesse Spartacino is really able to just pound through, and eventually there's going to be some wear and tear on that defense to try and stop him. Give once again to Spartacino, and they read that perfectly. After 3 straight runs, they kind of knew it was coming. That is when you might want to revamp your play calling a little bit and try maybe one downfield pass to the corner of the end zone.
Well, look what Spartacino is doing here as a sophomore, and imagine what he could do when he's a senior. And like I said, the freshman team last year dominated the freshman division for Lexington with Spartacino, Winston, Fletcher, and Busa. And we may see that in years to come.
Once again, the give is to Spartacino. Spartacino still on his feet, and now he's brought down. I'm going to go as far as to say that Jesse Spartacino is one of the best young running backs that this high school has had in a matter of years. I mean, his brother plays 1AA football at Fordham, was excellent, and I think Jesse might even have the chance to top that, especially starting as a sophomore.
Well, Jesse Spartacino was the second sophomore ever under Coach Bill Tye to start. But then obviously later in the season, we saw Busa come in and start and Fletcher come in and start.
This team is going to be a force to reckon with for years to come. I mean, I know this was a rebuilding year, but next year I think we can expect to see much better things out of men. A play fake by Busa. Looks downfield to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Solomon had it in his hands, and he couldn't hang on. That was Phelan.
Yeah, Phelan. Well, you know, it's always harder to catch the ball once it gets tipped because it changes direction. It seemed like he had it in his arms, though, just fell incomplete.
That was a great throw right there by Busa, but Phelan just could not hang on to it. And if you give Busa a couple more years, then he is really going to be a stud quarterback for this football team. I mean, this was a kid here that was called the future of Lexington football by the Boston Globe earlier this year, and he is really showing some promise.
Busa is actually now out of the game because of that injury.
So 1st and 10 here for Burlington after that 4th down play. And they give to Daigle. Daigle, equally a really good running back. He's also a sophomore, and he looks like he also could be a force to reckon with for this Burlington team. Lots of really young, great running backs that we've seen this year in the Middlesex League. I mean, most people predicted that Woburn was going to win this league before the season started, and those predictions are obviously coming true. But if you give a couple of teams here the chance to improve over the next 2 or 3 years, then this is really going to be one of the top divisions in Massachusetts Division II football. With the young running backs, the young quarterbacks, and just the overall great talent that this league has, this is going to be a really great football league. Daigle, a nice tackle right there.
Nice run to the outside, yeah. See, if one player started as a sophomore under Coach Bill Tye, but this season there's been about 5 or 6 players who started in total. And that just shows the youth in this football team and what they're going to become in later years. And there are good players on the JV team. There are many good sophomore players.
So the ball now is going to be 1st and 10, ball on the 25-yard line. 5:52 left to go in the first half. So Reid and the quarterback calling signals. Daigle is his lone setback. And now Lexington actually has to have a secondary. And Daigle gets nowhere. What a tackle in the open field right there. Number 6 on the play there for Lexington. That's
Kurt Chisholm.
That's Kurt Chisholm. And you talked about him earlier being a great tackler as well as an excellent punter and kicker for this football team.
Yeah, well, what he does well is he tackles an open field. He can tackle anybody one-on-one. He's very aggressive, very strong, big, and he pulls people down.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 as there is no gain on that play. The score is tied here 6-6. For those of you just joining, Lexington struck first in this game with a Michael Busa quarterback sneak for what appeared to be about a 25-yard touchdown. Daigle for Burlington later answered that with about a 25-yard touchdown of his own, and we're tied at 6. Lexington missed the extra point, and Burlington missed for a 2-point conversion. Very close to a first down right there is number 3, or number 5 again. That's Daigle, 45.
Well, a missed tackle in the backfield by Brian Mason, who seems to have maybe strained something in his right leg. He got great penetration. Brian Mason, very fast, very strong, got into the backfield really fast, just couldn't pull him down, tugged his shirt, nothing happened.
So now it's going to be about 2nd and 9 on the 26-yard line here for Burlington, as we're going to try and maybe get the lead here before halftime. And Burlington is going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. We didn't quite see that. It might have been after the play was over.
Well, unsportsmanlike conduct is a call that many people like to debate, because it's really in the opinion of the referee, which is too unsportsmanlike. I mean, people can celebrate, people can jump up and down almost, but you know, there's been unsportsmanlike conduct all over the place in the NFL with taunting, excessive celebrations, and you know, if you just do anything as much as mouth off, it's becoming a penalty that's more and more common.
3rd and 25 here, ball on the 26-yard line. So, I mean, I think they just run the ball here, don't try and do anything stupid, and just punt the ball away to Lexington here. They got to play safe in this situation, and that's exactly what they do, but there's a fumble on the play. And it looks like Burlington recovered the ball, but that could have been extremely bad for this Burlington football team, and could have given Lexington great field position and a chance to go into the lead.
No matter what. Look at this, 4th and 25 at about the 10-yard line. With the way punts have gone, look, the punt returners are starting inside the 50-yard line. This punt is going to be from inside the end zone. I mean, and it's 4th and 25. No chance of any play calling to go for it here.
And with that poor snap that Burlington had last time, I mean, you never know. This special team is even, I don't want to say worse than the Lexington special team has been this year, but a decent snap, and ball goes to about and they're just going to gets nowhere. So that was about the best possible thing that could happen for Burlington.
Best for Burlington. Lexington still will be happy with that, though. They'll start the drive at Burlington's 40-yard line.
So after that last special teams play by Burlington, which almost resulted in a safety, that could have been extremely dangerous for that Burlington football team, but this time much better results, and Lexington will have to have a much longer field here, and we're going to have to go 40 yards for the touchdown.
3:11 left in the half.
So what do you do here, Jack? Just keep on pounding the football?
Well, you run until you've got not much time left.
And maybe a false start. And number 77, that is an official timeout on the field. That's Brian Robinson, the tackle, comes out of a ball game, and I'm not really sure what on there. Probably maybe some kind of injury.
Steve Johnson checking into the game for Lexington.
He'll take the spot of number 77, Brian Robinson. And he is protecting Mike Boos's blind side right there, a very important position for a tackle. I formation. Boosa back to pass. Under pressure, looking downfield, and it is incomplete.
Boosa under intense pressure. He had to make that throw in some sort of recline. What we've seen Tom Brady do in this NFL season for Lexington with, you know, great penetration from the D-line. They got through to Boosa. The call was a throw. He leaned back. He was getting tackled, threw it as high as he could in front of both the coverage and the wide receiver.
I think that Boosa was probably looking for a pass interference called right there. I think that's why he threw the ball downfield. A pass interference call would have really been great there, but an excellent play right there by the Burlington cornerback to not freak out as the ball was coming. As when the ball's in the air that long, sometimes the cornerback will get nervous and commit that pass interference penalty. Boosa's going to try and throw it again. Incomplete, intended for Spartacino.
Well, that's not that bad, because there was a player right on Spartacino's back when he caught that ball. Possibly, you know, he could have hit him really hard, bumped the ball out of him, still an incomplete pass. Whatever it was, I doubt he would have gotten good yardage.
Well, after we started this game and there was almost no crowd. This looks as close to a sellout as we've seen all year, as the fans have really come out to support this football team for the last game of the season. We really do have a packed house. This is as packed as I've seen this stadium all year.
Well, 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 here. One back formation. And the give right there is to Solomon. And yeah, there's definitely a holding call.
Well, I'm curious. They throw it on 1st and 10. They throw it on 2nd and 10.
And they run on 3rd and 10.
And then they run on 3rd and 10. Very interesting play calling there. What I do is you run on 1st and 10, you run on 2nd and 10, or 2nd and whatever. Then you'll end up with a 3rd and short. And then your options are open. You know, you never throw on 1st down, 2nd down, and then run on 3rd down. That's just ridiculous.
I'm not really sure what the idea right there was for Bill Ty and the offensive coaching staff. A legal procedure on Lexington. But maybe they're just trying to keep the defense honest. That would be my theory on that situation. I really do think that they were trying for the pass interference call on that 1st down. But they were trying to get a little screen pass, but maybe would have gone for positive yardage on the 2nd play. And then on 3rd down, they just put themselves in the situation where they really didn't want to make a mistake, so they just ran the ball. Interesting play call, but I don't think we're going to see that much more from this Lexington offense. So Chisholm is back to punt. Great punt right there for Chisholm. It's going to roll into Burlington territory, and a nice play.
Wonderful. That's at about the 12-yard line. Yeah, great hustle there by Lexington to get to that football. That's what you have to do on those punts. That was a good play call to punt the ball and not to go for it on 4th and 10. Definitely the right decision. They punt. It's a decent punt. They get the ball, and Burlington has it inside the 10. It'll be at the 5-yard line. Absolutely what Lexington wanted to have happen right there.
So if Burlington deep in their own territory, Lexington might have a chance for a turnover or maybe another possession before halftime.
You never know with these kind of conditions.
So Reid calling signals, hands it off. And Reale gets a gain, maybe 2 or 3 yards. So I don't think Burlington's going to try anything dangerous here, because a turnover in this situation, this deep in their own territory, could be absolutely costly and give the Minutemen an excellent chance to go into the halftime with a lead.
Yeah, but the plays that have been the most awkward and the most dangerous this game have been the special team plays. Now, suppose they go 3 and out and it's about 4th and 7. They're punting that ball from the back of the end zone, which opens up an opportunity for a very interesting play.
And with the poor snap of the long snapper for Burlington, is back to pass, looks downfield, fires, and it's almost intercepted.
What a play by Hayato Surumaki. I was telling you earlier, Hayato can play coverage. A beautiful breakup by the sophomore. That is Hayato Surumaki. Beautiful.
I have to say, that was one of the best plays on the ball I have seen in many a time, especially here in high school football. And that is a sophomore, as you said, Jack.
And you know why Hayato's so good? He plays basketball. He's incredibly quick on the basketball court. Believe me, I know. He dribbles incredibly well, he's incredibly fast, and he knocks away passes when he's playing basketball, and he does the exact same thing on the football field.
Excellent play right there by Surumaki, and now it's going to be 3rd and 9 here for the Burlington Red Devils. So Reid with 2 running backs in the backfield, back to pass, and that's skipped off the grab. Incomplete pass.
Well,
so
there
here we go,
Here's
4th and 9.
3 and out. 4th and 9. That's better than what I called. Now they're punting. They're going to snap it about 16 yards back to the back of the end zone. If there's a bad misfire on the snap, or if the punt is shafted, you know.
Could be a safety or a touchdown.
Well, safety touchdown, or the ball at like the 20-yard line inside their territory.
4th and 9 on the 6-yard line. A huge play here. So Giorgio once again is back to punt. And a decent snap, and that's the best they could hope for.
Well, that's happened twice.
And oh! That ball went almost to midfield. And Burlington once again gets a great break on special teams. Excellent punting. The deeper it seems that number 82, which is Dan Georgette, as he gets deeper into his own territory and as there's more pressure, it just seems like he makes better punts.
Yeah, that was perfect there for Burlington. You know, that's the one thing that we said couldn't happen for Lexington, because now they have it, well, at midfield, but field position hasn't seemed to be an issue here, because no matter what the field position has, results have varied sufficiently.
But there's only 1:37 left to go in this half, and if Lexington wants to do something, it's got to be now. So this time we're going to line up 2 wide receivers, but that doesn't change because McGinnis is Spartacino, but he breaks tackles. Oh, a nice open field tackle by number 42 for Burlington.
Yeah, big play there.
Number 42 is John Cronin, the linebacker, junior, 5'11", 170 pounds. Excellent play right there.
Yeah, well, that's huge, because if Spartacino breaks that tackle, I swear he's got like 18 yards, if not a touchdown, because Spartacino breaks tackles very well with good determination.
Excellent play right there by Cronin to really prevent a huge Spartacino gain as a potential offensive score here for the Lexington Minutemen. So the cheerleaders trying to get the crowd into it here, and I don't think they need any motivation. It's 6-6. It's a rivalry game. It's Thanksgiving Day, 1:26 left, and we have a great football game on our hands as Lexington is taking a timeout.
Well, I'm sure they're discussing the play calling now. It's 2nd and 8. The throw has not been working, but we've seen chances of it to work because Boosa's throws have improved as the game's progressed. You know what I say they do? I say they go with the quarterback play-action draw that got them that huge touchdown.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jack. That play worked so beautifully that they should really try it again, especially in this situation.
You know what they always say, if something's working, keep doing it until it stops, because, you know, if it's working, you'll open up leads. If it keeps working, you keep that lead.
So both teams coming back onto the field now from a timeout, as now it's going to be 2nd and 8, ball placed on the Burlington 45-yard line for the Minutemen. So they go to a 2 wide receiver formation. Dew and Phelan are the wideouts and a split back. Once again, they give us to Spartacino. He bobbled the football at first, and now he's wrapped up. Not a great pitch right there by Booz, as Spartacino had to adjust just a little bit, and that might have prevented him from getting more yardage on the play.
Well, when Ryan Phelan checks into the game, which he does now, you know they're looking for a fast wide receiver, which is exactly what Ryan Phelan is. He's going to go downfield. I'm looking for a throw this play. 3rd and 8.
So as you said, Phelan checks into the ball game as a wide receiver along with Dew.
I'm sorry, it's 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6. Split back formation. And you were right about the throw. Busig back to pass. Now under pressure, avoids the rush. Still on his feet, and he's brought down. Well, they tried the pass, but it just didn't work right there.
Well,
Great.
If I was Mike Busa right there, what I would have looked for is that open lane to the left. There was nobody there on the left. If Busa runs hard to the left side, you know, almost a complete sweep to the left side.
Finally got it right. There you go.
So they tried to go for the big play downfield, but excellent rush right there by the Burlington defense. As we said, when number 77 Brian Robinson checked out of the ball game for Lexington, a new player came in to protect Mike Boosa's blind side, and that inexperience probably led right there to that excellent Burlington penetration on the rush. So now it's 4th down, and Chisholm back to punt. Good snap, Chisholm. Excellent punt once again. And they're just going to let it roll. Wow, Kurt Chisholm has excellent placement on his punts. Unbelievable. What a great punter this guy has been all year long to get Lexington out of these situations.
Well, I was disappointed with his start, just really messing up kicks on tees, but his punting's been great. And while he's a great kicker, what he does really well is he also tackles, which is why he plays defense and why he stops returns for touchdowns, which is what we've seen a lot for Lexington with disaster special teams.
Well, with 20 seconds left to go in the first half, I would assume that Burlington would just kneel the ball here and go into halftime tied at 6. Both teams have played a pretty solid game so far. I would have thought that Burlington would have more of a lead, but then again, Lexington always tough on Thanksgiving Day. And yes, we're just going to knee the ball. And that's going to be it for the first half with the score 6-6 here at Harold J. Crum Memorial Field. Thanksgiving Day, the 30th anniversary of the Burlington-Lexington rivalry. We'll be back at halftime.
Lexington trying to keep the trophy.
second.
You know,
There was anywhere to leave.
you guys go ahead.
Well, welcome to the second half. Tie ball game 6-6. I'm Jack Joshi-Powell, and with me is Max Rollinger. Max, your analysis on the first half.
Well, so far in the first half, both teams played a pretty solid game, especially running the football, as both Jesse Spartacino and the running back for Burlington, Jake Daigle, have both had pretty solid games so far. Both really good at running in between the tackles, both with about, I'd say about maybe 50 yards rushing so far today.
Well, the two big players in this game have been Jake Daigle and Jesse Spartacino. Obviously, the big touchdown run by Busa. But Jesse Spartacino has done great stuff on offense and defense. Now, both of those players are sophomores. Jake Daigle, 5'11", sophomore, 190 pounds. Jesse Spartacino, number 45, 6'1", 190 pounds. The only difference, 2 inches.
Well, going into the second half, Jack, as I said earlier in the first half, this game is going to come out to who wins the turnover battle and who plays the better defense.
Well, Lexington is going to receive the kick. Of course, they somewhat received the kick in the first half, an incredibly exciting way to start the game because Lexington was supposed to kick off. Burlington was back to receive. The kickoff was really muffed up by Chisholm because of the awful conditions, and it was Lexington that pounced on it, somewhat like an onside kick, although it was not intended to be an onside kick.
And that really set the tone for the rest of the half as Mike Busa on that beautiful quarterback sneak that went about 29 yards for the touchdown. Excellent way to start off the game, and then Burlington answered with a run of their own by Jake Daigle. And I think that we can expect a lot of ball control offense, lots of running. Both teams are going to take a few chances downfield because both teams really want to win this ball game. And I think that defense is going to ultimately decide who wins this ball game today.
Lexington trying to retain the Turkey Bowl championship, if you will, because they won the Thanksgiving game last year, and they're trying to keep that trophy. But Burlington wants it pretty badly, and it is a tie game, even chances for both teams right now.
And I think what we're going to see here with Lexington is I don't think they're going to take that many chances going into the third quarter here. I think that they're going to go back to what they were doing, give the ball off to Jesse Spartacino, mix in with an occasional toss to Brian Mason, and just hope that they can gain the yardage that they need to score a touchdown here in the third quarter.
Well, back to return is Hayato Surumaki.
Excellent play by Hayato earlier today. He's a sophomore too, Jack. These sophomores are going to be the future of Lexington football and are going to lead this team back to the prominence that they so desperately want.
It is Spartacino, Hayato, and Joe Solomon back to try and return this kick. Now, I'd be very cautious for the short kick.
They might try and give Lexington a bit of its own medicine right here.
Decent kick. Spartacino caught it. He's going to try and go up the middle. He eludes a tackle, goes down at what appears to be about the 38-yard line. He was brought down by number 29, Joe Reel, who is actually a prime target on offense, the fullback. He's only 5'7", but they like to give him carries. He's a fullback, and he pounds the run.
And it's no coincidence that Jesse Spartacino caught that ball because he's going to see that ball for the rest of the game today. He is the main guy, and he is going to be the one that either wins this game or maybe loses this game. I don't want to put all that pressure on one player, but Jesse Spartacino is the go-to guy. And if anyone's going to win this ball game for Lexington, it's going to come on the shoulders of Jesse Spartacino right now.
Busa, 2 wide receivers. They give us to Spartacino. Nothing. Oh, wait, he's still on his feet. They're trying to rake the fumble. Spartacino holding on. 87. Number 87, who is Dominic Kalala, was just the senior, 6'1", 195 pounds, was just trying to rake that ball loose. Spartacino, with one hand and trying to stiff arm an opponent, held on to that football and avoided the fumble.
Well, the Burlington defense did something very smart in that situation. Jesse Spartacino was going backwards, so they had to take the chance and try and rip that fumble right out of his hands. But credit to Jesse Spartacino, the fact that he held on to that ball very well, and as a result, no fumble.
Single back. Looks like 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. Busa's going to throw the football. He's being pressured, and that pass is Incomplete. A little low throw. He had Jeremy Dew fairly open.
What we talked about earlier, that substitution that was made on the offensive line as Mike Busa's blindside, he almost got sacked right there. We saw that Burlington defensive player coming in, and he was inches away from sacking Michael Busa. The offensive line has to do a better job of protecting that kind of throw. Got to give him more time to throw that ball.
It is Jeremy Dew and Ryan Phalens who are the two wideouts. Busa again to throw. He has got Dew, and the same play. Wow, I'm exact same play there. The same route, same bad throw.
You can just see that Busa's really uncomfortable throwing the ball right now. It's just slipping right out of his hands, and it's just not getting on target to his receivers.
Not what Lexington wanted, a 3 and out, and now Kurt Chisholm is going to kick it away.
Kurt Chisholm has been huge today in the field position battle. Excellent punts all game long. That missed extra point given could come back to haunt them during the course of this second half. But nonetheless, Kurt Chisholm still with a very solid ball game. Great snap.
Kurt Chisholm kicks it, a great kick. It will be caught and returned by number 7. He's got room, left side. And that is what I'm talking about. Kurt Chisholm tackled boys. Punt returns for touchdowns. That is Kurt Chisholm. I've been saying it all game. That's a touchdown if they don't have a good tackling kicker. Great play there by Kurt Chisholm.
Kurt Chisholm didn't just hammer him right there, Jack. He gave him a rock bottom. Something that would make professional wrestlers proud. Nice play right there by Kurt Chisholm.
Well, not the way Lexington started, and Lexington has been second half collapsing all game. I remember a certain Concord-Carlisle game when Lexington had it tied 13-all, ended up losing by 20-something points.
Who could forget that game? That pretty much set the tone for the rest of the year.
Well, here he is. The go, up the middle. And he's still going. That's about an 8-yard gain right up the middle. People were all over him, and he finally went down. That's just beautiful pounding of the run.
Once Daigle gets in between those open tackles, he just turns it up a notch, and he can get you an extra 3 or 4 yards on every play. Case in point, that play right there.
Well, in the red zone is Burlington.
Huge play here for both teams.
So the give once again to Daigle. Daigle stuffed.
Who else but Jesse Spartacino made that tackle right there, as both running backs kind of get in each other's space. Neither of them want to lose this ball game. They're sophomores, but they already understand what this rivalry means to both teams, and they are really playing their hearts out right now. Burlington obviously trying to get that trophy back to Burlington-Lexington, trying to hold on to it for another year. These two sophomore running backs are going to be great.
3rd and 2. I'm predicting Daigle. That's who gets it. He is stuffed. He didn't get it. He did not get it. They will go for this, though, no question.
Joe Solomon once again with the huge tackle on 3rd down.
No question to go over here. Risky field goal business.
I don't know if we're going to go for the field goal. If I were them, I'd just go for it.
It's first down.
Did they get the first down? They did. I am very surprised that they marked that ball where they did. A very favorable spot right there for Burlington. I didn't think that they got the first down.
Yeah, it never seemed like he got past the line of scrimmage, let alone 2 yards.
Well, now we're debating this a little bit. Yeah, I think that they gave Burlington a very favorable spot right
2
there.
yards on that.
And they gave him the first down.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Look at Jesse Spartacino just shaking his head. He goes, yeah, we stuffed him at the line of scrimmage, yet it's still a first down.
Well, those are the calls that you get when you're 6-4, whereas Lexington is 1-9 and just hasn't gotten any breaks all season long.
The Lexington team is appalled by that, and so am I.
I'm appalled by that. That was a terrible call.
Terrible ball spot. It's a shame they can't challenge.
And QB sneak this time. Trying a little bit of, trying to be Busa right there, but I don't know about that. He's got to break it to the outside. That's not the way to go.
Well, it's 6-3, and, you know, being Patriots fans, we know the effect of QB dives with tall quarterbacks. Tom Brady does that quarterback dive very well, and that's what we saw right there from Ben Reid.
So we're in the red zone right now, and what do you think here, Jack? I think they just got to keep pounding the ball to Daigle.
Well, that's what they've been doing all game. Why stop? They're penetrating with a chance to take the lead. It could be Daigle all the way. So, the give is to Daigle, like we said. Daigle still going. Oh, that's a nice first down right there. First down inside the 10.
That is what makes Daigle such a special football player. Once he makes the first tackle miss, he just turns it up another notch. And when that happens, he just picks up an additional 3 or 4 yards every time. That is what separates good running backs from great running backs. And Daigle in a few years is going to be a truly great running back for this Burlington football team.
Well, he's not explosive like some of the backs on Concord Carlisle, but he gets the job done. Ben Reid. QB sneak. Up the middle.
Oh, he got hammered.
Yeah, not much there. Just a mob of jerseys right up the middle.
And this is probably the best defensive effort we have seen of the Lexington Minutemen this year. I mean, they had a great game against Winchester, but they are playing even better given the circumstances today than they played against Winchester.
Well, against Winchester, it was really the offense that won the football game. Now it's going to be dependent on the defense. A stop here would be huge.
And if they do stop them here, do you kick the field goal or do you go for it?
They'll probably go for it with a lack of kicks. Oh, that's a beautiful run, and...
Waiting for the signal.
Didn't get in.
Didn't get in. Well, I think you have to go for it right now, Jack. I think it's a chance that you have to take. You got to quiet the crowd. I mean, a field goal will help them, but in the course of things, if they get a touchdown right now, it's going to quiet the crowd and put a lot of pressure on this Lexington offense.
Well, it is now 3rd and 2 on the 2. Just having a couple plays back, we didn't think they got it, but the referee said they did with a very favorable ball spot.
So 3rd down here.
They go to Daigle. Daigle.
He didn't get it.
No, he crawled at the end. Very possible was the generous ball spots that Burlington's been getting. He may have gotten that one.
Yeah, he made a second effort for that, but looked like his knee was down. His knee was down before he got.
4th and 1 is the spot. Now, what do you do if you're Burlington?
You got to go for it, Jack. There's no question that you have to go for it. You have to quiet the crowd, get the touchdoation, and put a lot of pressure on Lexington.
It's an extra point field goal if they do it. It's an extra point field goal. It's on the 2. It's as close as field goals get.
And they're going to call a timeout here and think this over. But if they get in the same field goal range, I have all the confidence in Kurt Chisholm. I think that extra point was just him getting acclimated to the climate here and the situation. But in a pressure situation like that, I have no doubt that he can come through here for the Minutemen.
Yeah, Kurt Chisholm gotten better as the game progressed. And, well, what you're seeing here with the disaster kicks just makes you even more impressed with what Adam Vinatieri did in the snowball.
Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah, they're going for it. They're going for it.
Abayam is trying to pump up this crowd.
I don't think the crowd needs to get pumped up. They know what's on the line right now.
If they get, no, it's 4th and 2 on the 2. It's a touchdown or turnover. They go. And he's in.
He's in.
Touchdown.
Hey, give Burlington credit. They stuck with their guns and they got the touchdown.
Joe Real, the 5'7" fullback. He's also a sophomore. What a surprise. 170 pounds. He just went right to up the middle.
Well, they knew what it was at stake right there, and they, to their credit, they did not kick the field goal. They knew that a touchdown would quiet the crowd, and that would put a lot of pressure on the Lexington offense. And sure enough, hey, never up by 6 and possibly 7 with the extra point.
Well, as big as that play was.
Oh, they're going to go for 2. They're going to go for 2.
Absolutely. That's why this play is so big. If you stop them, 6-point game. If you don't, 8-point game. Big difference. One's a touchdown and a missed extra point. One's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It's going to be thrown. Oh, wow! Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is painful. He was wide open in the back of the end zone, and he just couldn't haul in the catch. He is furious with himself.
Oh, my goodness.
That's number 87, Dominic Colella, wide open, dropped it. His teammates are trying to settle him down because he is so furious with himself. Coach gives him a pat on the head. He trots the sideline. Well, that's got to be heartbreaking to drop such a big catch in this type of game.
And that is the kind of play that can make or break a game. He was wide open in the corner of the end zone, and he just couldn't hang on.
Perfect.
Wow. That would have just absolutely sucked the life out of this crowd. And I don't know.
Team.
And then this entire team. I mean, after 1-9 season, you think you've seen it all, but If they were to get that 2-point conversion, then it would have been very hard for them to come back. And now it's only a 6-point game, so Lexington has the opportunity to score and take the lead.
They need big plays this drive. Big plays, and not just these, not a 3 and out. That's what we've seen on the last couple drives from Lexington. It seems like the offense has died ever since that first drive.
And despite the drop right there, what a great offensive play call by Burlington.
Good kick. Solomon will catch it. Solomon bringing it back. Solomon up the middle. He gets hit hard. Still on his nope, brought down. About the 30-yard line.
Well, let's go back to that 2-point conversion for a second, if you will, Jack. What a great play call by the Burlington offensive coordinator. A nice play fake. They designed it perfectly so that a wide receiver would be in the corner of the end zone to get that 2-point conversion. The only problem was he dropped the ball.
Yep.
But nonetheless, no fault of the Burlington offensive coordinator.
Burlington's barely thrown all day. Perfect time to choose it. Take him absolutely by surprise. Lexington was expecting a run. That's why it was so open. And he just dropped a perfect pass. So Busa, split backs, 2 wideouts. Busa, he's going to do a little sneak. It was immediate and nothing.
Yeah, they read that all the way.
No, well, there's no play fake. No, there wasn't a rollout. He just ran on his own to the left side and got absolutely nothing. It looked like a loss, in fact.
Right. I think that he actually went into that rollout a bit too quick. I think that he should have hesitated for a second and then went at and waited for the play to... He lost 5 yards right there. That's not how you start the game. If Busa had waited just a minute and used the hesitation, it could have possibly fooled the Burlington defenders for just enough time so that he could have broken to the outside and maybe picked up some positive yardage right there.
Busa's fast, but he's not a miracle worker.
Right. No, he's not Michael Vick. Not the player that he wears his number after.
Well, Busa gives it across to Spartacino, breaking so many tackles.
And yet still, he probably didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, it's just great defensive line penetration. And, you know, even though he broke about 2-3 tackles, he still didn't get he got possibly 1 yard. Busa, split backs again. It's Mason and Spartacino. The give. No, it's a throw. Busa to throw. He's got Jeremy.
Oh!
Now, did that hit come
I think that was pass interference. I think that he hit him before he had a reasonable chance to catch that ball.
Well, the ref said no. He said it was the hit. The ball was in his possession when he hit him, and he came out.
Well, Jeremy Dew has good hands, as we saw so well in that Stoneham game. But I don't know. I think that was pretty close to being pass interference, and I'm surprised that the refs didn't at least review that amongst themselves.
Good coverage guys know exactly when to hit, and I think he got it just about right there. So Chisholm back to punt. Chisholm. Not a bad kick, but he will receive it. Oh, a costly slip up there. Brought down hard. Nice tackle there.
One thing that we've seen in recent weeks from this Lexington team is improved special teams play, and it is really coming in handy right now. They should have had a touchdown when Jesse Spartacino did catch what appeared to be somewhat of a block kick and ran it in for the touchdown. Of course, that costly holding penalty negated that, but even so, improved special teams has really helped out the Minutemen so far.
Well, it's at the 50-yard line. Lexington desperately needs a stop here. The give is to Reid. Getting the short yardage. This is perfect for Burlington right now. Short yardage runs, pounding, and making it work.
Joe Real on the carry for the Minutemen. Right down to 87, Brendan Gleason.
2nd and 6. The give is to Real again. Reali, just really nothing going there.
I think you got to start giving it to Daigle again. I mean, Reali is a nice change of pace back, but when the game's on the line in this situation, tie ball game 6-6, both teams really wanting to get this, really wanting to win this game, you got to give it to your best running back, and Daigle is just what the doctor ordered for this Burlington football team.
Well, Daigle's been getting carry after carry, maybe giving him a short break. They do have the lead. They're trying to run down the clock, give Lexington as short time as they can to try and come back. But I don't know if it's looking that good for Lexington. Their offenses seemed very, very muted over the last couple of drives.
Oh, absolutely. I think that they definitely have to switch it for play calling a little bit and maybe give something that they haven't seen before.
Timeout.
Timeout is called. While we're taking this timeout, let's take a minute to discuss Patriots today, Jack. Big game. This team is 6-5, the game back of first place in the AFC East, against a Lions team that we know is one of the worst in football, but yet always plays well on Thanksgiving. What's your prediction here?
Well, they have young talent like the young rookie Joey Arrington, and they've got a former back that was fairly good. But I'm going to have to go with the Patriots on this game because the Patriots are a good football team. What they do well is they beat bad teams. You know, they seem to just beat every bad team, although they did struggle that game against the Chicago Bears where they had that miracle comeback. But I'm still picking the Patriots. You?
I will also pick the Patriots in this situation. I think that their defense should be able to shut down Joey Harrington and the offense of the Detroit Lions. And also, I see this game being very close. I see the Lions making a couple big plays that they wouldn't ordinarily make. But I'm going to go 27-20 Patriots over the Lions.
All right, well, back to the game. Burlington.
Hard snap count right there.
To Daigle. Not enough.
And one thing that was interesting right there is that their quarterback, number 4, that is... Number 4 of it is Ben Reid. He tried a hard snap count, trying to draw the defense offside, and that is a very interesting technique right there, as the master of that, as we know, is Brett Favre on the Green Bay Packers, who has made an art form out of it. But a very interesting play right there.
This is huge. 4th and 1. Lexington needs a big-time stop. They go to Daigle. Oh, he got it.
I don't know. Yeah. He's awfully close.
Well, you know,
it's going to be very close. But
see how confident Burlington is in their play calling. 4th and 1 at the 40. They're running it.
And are we going to bring out the chains? Ooh, that is awfully close. This is when you need a yellow line. Yes, Lexington didn't get it.
Oh, wow.
Burlington did not get it.
Wow.
What a huge stop.
That is huge. I thought he had it with the kind of ball spots, the generous ball spots that Burlington's been getting today. And, yeah, that's huge. Big turnover there, turnover on downs. Now, Lexington's offense, they need to come in fired up. Busa has got to make plays. Spartacino's got to make big runs. They've got to get more than the 1-yard losses that they've been getting on the last couple of drives.
So here we go. I mean, Lexington needs to score on this possession.
Busa. Spartacino is the lone back. Phelan goes in motion. They toss it to Spartacino. He's got room to the right side. And he's still on his feet. Spin move brought down. Nice gain.
Now, you see what Jesse Spartacino did right there? He saw the play develop. He saw that there were going to be at least 3 defenders coming right at him. So what he did was he did a little hesitation move and then picked up about 2 extra yards on the Burlington defense. Great awareness by Jesse Spartacino, and he picks up an additional 2 yards in addition to about the 3 or 4 yards he already had. Excellent run right there by Jesse Spartacino.
Now it is 2nd and 3, a 7-yard run. Phelan moves in motion, provided a good lead block. Busa will now run the offense, 2nd and 3. Split backs, Mason and Spartacino. Timeout.
And Busa was obviously frustrated with the formation that they had right there.
He didn't know what they were doing. He looks back and he goes, what are you doing back there? And he just shrugged, called timeout, and went over to discuss it.
And a timeout in this situation is very critical because it takes away from the timeouts that you have in the 4th quarter when you need to have a drive to possibly win this football game. So now instead of 3 timeouts, they have 2. And that kind of mishap could cost them in the end. 1 timeout doesn't seem like that much, but once you get down to about the 2-minute warning or so, 2-minute drill in the 4th quarter, you really need those timeouts. Costly mistake right there by the Lexington offense.
Now it's a single back, and it is Spartacino. And look how roughed up Spartacino is. The same play. This time it's up the middle.
Oh, my goodness.
First down, Jesse Spartacino.
Running with abandon right there. Jesse Spartacino hit the hole, and he just absolutely paralyzed that Burlington defense.
Well, I don't know if the Burlington defense read this, but Ryan Phelan moved in motion like he did on the toss play. Now, that would have maybe shifted Burlington's defense to the right. And then Spartacino plowed right up the middle. I don't know if that helped the big gain, but that's what I was predicting they'd do. I think they were going with the same play after a big gain.
Jesse Spartacino is a force to be reckoned with. He is the Lexington offense.
Now, Mason, oh, the similar play. It's the same toss play. Nice block. Spartacino, about a yard.
They tried that little toss play again, but Burlington was able to read that run pretty easily. So this is when I think you have to start changing up your offensive play calling just a tiny bit. I mean, I know Busa has not been that accurate throwing the ball today, but I believe that, he hasn't completed a pass. That's true. But Busa, as we've seen during the course of the season, can deliver the big play when needed with his arm as well as with his feet.
Third quarter comes to an end. Fourth quarter is going to decide the ball game. 12-6, Burlington. Now, the Lexington Minutemen are on drive, and they're looking good this drive. The ball is at about the midfield mark, and we've seen some good runs on this drive by Spartacino. They need more of that. They need to get a touchdown. Touchdown will tie. Now, if you get the touchdown, Max, what do you do?
If you get the touchdown right here for Lexington, I think that Burlington is going to have to go on one heck of a drive. I mean, I think that they have enough confidence in Daigle and the rest of their offense to get a drive together, very timely drive at that. And for Lexington, you just got to dig in. I mean, I know that you're 1-9. It's been a very hard struggle of the season, but this is when you have to turn it up a notch. It's the Thanksgiving Day game against your hated rivals from Burlington, and you need to come up with a big defensive stop that brings the trophy back to Lexington, or keeps the trophy in Lexington. Both teams have a lot to play for right now. Neither of these teams is going to the playoffs, but don't you worry about this, Jack. Both of these teams are going to see a lot of each other over the next 3 years.
Well, speaking of the playoffs, Woburn, who's top of the Middlesex Division, was beating Winchester 28-0 at the half.
Winchester is the Cincinnati Bengals of Middlesex football. They just can't win a game.
So Busa goes to Spartacino outside, gets tripped up, still going. Spartacino, right side, first down and more. No, he's still on his, wow. That out of bounds marker can really fool you. You never know where it is from this angle in the booth. And, well, Spartacino just kept running. First down, huge way to come out here in the fourth quarter.
Is there any question how good this kid is? Look at that run. He got stuffed behind the line, and then he just kept on pounding. Unbelievable run by Jesse Spartacino.
He's going to come up on 100 yards.
His vision is unbelievable. Jesse Spartacino has the most unbelievable sense of vision that I have seen in a running back in so many years. Unbelievable. And he's a sophomore, Jack. He's just going to keep getting better every year. He will be one of the best players in this division if you give him some time.
Well, Busa, once again, Spartacino, up the middle, breaks a tackle, still going. Oh, what heart! Courage of the Lion, about a 9-yard run. Oh, that is absolutely key. They are inside the 10.
Jesse Spartacino is a one-man wrecking crew. One-man wrecking crew. He just busted right through that defensive line for Burlington.
First down given.
Wow.
Breaking through. That's what you like in power backs. Spartacino never said die, no matter how many times he got bumped, and those bumps hurt more in the cold, and it's just making him play even better.
Come on, all right!
Busa, single back. Spartacino is that back. Phelan goes in motion. The give is to Spartacino. Right side, coming around. Not there, but a small gain.
And Burlington knows who the ball is going to every single play. The problem is that they can't stop it. Jesse Spartacino is just in another world right now.
Let's go,
When the pressure is on, that is when he thrives in these kinds of situations.
2nd and goal on the 4. All they need is 4 yards to knot this game up on Thanksgiving Day, trying to retain the trophy.
Come on, all right!
Busa.
Is Reid who this ball's going to?
Busa, the motion man. Spartacino, left side, cut back.
Oh.
Down, shy of the touchdown.
And it's a fumble!
I think he was down. He was down.
Wow. That certainly scared me. I don't know about you.
Oh, definitely scared me, but he was down. Well down before the ball popped loose. I'm not sure how much he got, but it's going to be 3rd down and goal. Probably about the 2-yard line.
Well, I mean, it's 2-down territory. They have to go for it if they don't get it here.
No, the ball is on the 1-yard line.
Just give it to Jesse. Let's get this game tied up.
Get everyone on the goal line. Right up the middle, Spartacino. That's going to be the play call. All he needs is 1 yard to knock this game up.
The fans are stomping their feet here.
Now, Busa. Phelan in motion. Spartacino up the middle.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it. He didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
Oh, boy.
But they'll go for this.
Well, here you go. It's the last game of the season, 4th and goal on the 1-yard line. Wow. We have seen quite a football game here.
Well, 4th and 1. How huge would a touchdown be here? Either way, there's going to be a big play this game.
And the fans are on their feet. They know how important this play is.
Busa. Single back Spartacino. Phelan in motion again. The give is to Spartacino.
He didn't get in. He didn't get in. Did he get in?
There was a fumble on the play. And Lexington lost about 6 yards.
Oh,
Burlington
my goodness.
trotting off the field.
When you're 1-9, these things just happen. This has been the story of their season. Close, but no cigar. Every single
Spartacino
game.
made the drive happen, and he just couldn't finish it.
Oh, boy.
That is...
What a heartbreaker for Lexington.
Now they'll get it on the 7-yard line as opposed to the 1 if he just hadn't coughed it up. It is Burlington football. They're not even in within their 5 when Lexington had the ball on the 1. A fumble, nicely recovered. Well, it didn't make a difference.
Hey, get behind the 30s. 30s.
Well, here comes Burlington. Definitely a stop. Definitely required now. Backs to the wall. The give is to... Oh, outside we've got yardage. Joshi-Powell.
Come on.
Hey, that's what good teams do in clutch situations. And Lexington is just not clutch enough.
Burlington 6-4, Lexington 1-9. Those are the records, and the records are shown right now with the ability to make big plays.
How disappointing would this loss be for this Lexington football team, Jack?
Well, I don't know if we want to say that yet, but yes, it would be disappointing with such a good opportunity there. It is 1st down, ball on the 22-yard line. The give is to Reid. Reid outside, smacked, but he's still going. Finally brought down. Solomon not happy with his team right now.
The Lexington defense has to get their head in this ball game. It's not over yet, guys. It's not over yet. It's not even close. They're only down by 6 points. They need to dig in deep, get the ball back, and make sure that this team has another chance to tie this ball game up.
Well, I'm going to say it, but Burlington could put out the lights with a score here. A field goal, that's probably not going to happen with the conditions. It's a 9-point game, not even a touchdown tie. The touchdown, yeah, it's lights out with that. So Lexington desperately needs a stop. 2nd and 2, everyone on the line. The give is to Reid, 1st down. Abaya Maguomo with the tackle.
Hey, they just keep the clock moving. And Lexington is powerless to stop it right now.
Joshi-Powell is tiny out there, but he's 170 pounds. He's a sophomore also, and he seems to have taken over as the prime target from Jake Daigle.
On the 30-yard line, nonetheless. I don't know, Jack. It's not looking good here for the Lexington defense. They need a big play. As I said, defense is going to decide who wins this ball game today, and a defensive play here would be huge.
Got two plays with the ball on the 1, and they couldn't get the ball in. That's what kills. That's
eerily reminiscent of the Cincinnati Bengals when Corey Dillon could not get into the end zone. That's what it reminds me of.
Well, Ben Reid. The give is to Daigle. Daigle.
Not much.
About 2-3 yards. Falling forward has been key in this game.
And a flag is thrown on the play.
It was late. Joe Solomon came away with the football, claiming he had a fumble recovered. I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe it's
maybe 12 men on the field. 12 men on the field.
or awaiting the call.
If it's 12 men on the field, then
The flag has been picked up, no flag.
no flag. Thank goodness.
Well, they kept the clock going throughout that whole discussion. That's going to hurt Lexington.
Yeah, it's going to hurt
Second
him.
and 9. Everyone on the line of scrimmage. To give us to Riali. Riali, not much.
So-
Riali.
Critical third down coming up. Now the cheerleaders trying to get the crowd into the ball game, but right now they are really bummed. And who could blame them? This has been the story of a Lexington season all year long. They've come so close in so many games, but they just cannot give the extra effort needed to be a quality football team. They're just not there yet. And you can see it with the way that they're playing right now. They need to dig in deep for this stop.
Well, possibly the play of the game. There's been many of them. But it's Ben Reid. He's got 4 wide receivers. I think I can see it throw. Nobody in the backfield. He's going to throw the football. Ben Reid.
Ball start, no doubt. Just back him up 5 yards.
Well, if that is the call.
That was a blatant false start.
I didn't see it. But
I think it was for center actually that flinched. So why don't you just back it up 5 yards?
well, false start is the call
Yeah.
that offensive coordinators despise because it's just clumsy offense. You got to have an offense that's well coordinated, and that's just what it shows if you get false starts.
Well, that's the first time that Burlington has used this 4 wide receiver formation this game, and I just guessed that everyone on the offense was not on the same page in that situation, and you could see it right there.
Being on the same page is key. You look at the Minnesota Vikings, all the talent, no one's on the same page on that team. Jake, Daigle, and Joe Riali. But it's a throw, a pump fake, going back, scrambling hard, slipping, looking to throw, long and deep.
Almost.
Incomplete. That was a very good opportunity to make the catch, but it was number 19 that couldn't haul it down. Number 19 is Matt DeRosa. He's a wide receiver. He's a senior, 5'9", 170 pounds.
Hey, Reid almost made a huge play happen there that really would have just sucked the life out of his team. But instead, it's 4th down. And we're going to get another shot at it.
Burlington's going to punt, 4th and 14. If Lexington's going to get a shot to tie and maybe to go take the lead with the score after the touchdown, if the touchdown exists. But can they get that close? We haven't seen many impressive drives, except for the last one in the opening drive. Well, here is the kick. Perfect snap. Somewhat of a flimsy kick. It's
Oh, they
not
let
gonna
it
be-
roll.
that's
They let it
called-
roll.
Hal Barron's going to...
Oh!
Well, that was just terrible. That was the worst possible. You gotta smother it. Tal Barron picked it up late, and all it did was ended up giving him a shot.
Come on, guys. It's football fundamentals. You pounce on the ball in that situation.
50-yard punt. It landed after about 15 yards.
Hey, it's time to release Ken Walter.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. And that is a
Special
killer.
teams have gone the way of Burlington today. They've got the ball at the 10. They need a 90-yard drive. I don't know if they've got it in them, but
This would be the drive. You've heard of the drive with John Elway against the Cleveland Browns in 1986.
well, Georgette, huge punt, although I'm going to blame the Lexington return team for that position. Busa, once again, just a single back. I don't think they'll be throwing it. They are going to go to Spartacino around to the left side.
Oh, he's got room. He's got room.
He's got big time room. Not bad. Not a bad run. Prevented him from getting out of bounds and stopping the clock. So the clock will run. Not a bad run, about 6 yards.
Hey, that's who you give the ball to. That's who you give the ball to. Jesse Spartacino.
5-yard gain. 2nd and 5.
They got to take a chance for the air.
Clock ticking.
They have to take a chance for the air.
Well, they're gonna wait until as late as possible to go through the air.
Wow. 108 yards on the day was just announced for Jesse Spartacino.
Spartacino is the lone back. Busa to Spartacino. Nothing. No, he's still on his feet. It'll be still nothing, but...
Oh, boy.
Yep. Now
Oh, boy.
this is a play. This is the play. It'll be 3rd and about 6.
And Busa takes the timeout.
Well,
Busa takes the timeout. He needs the timeout.
Brings up 3rd down for the Minutemen.
Oh, boy. I don't know, Jack. It looks like the Minutemen are running out of time. So what do you do here? I think you have to give the ball to Jesse. You just have to.
Well, supposing they do not get the first down, that's the question of what you do. Well, they're probably going to do with a toss to Jesse because Busa's had nothing through the air. Well, that's probably what they're talking over. Busa, when he's had the pass, hasn't made the throw. The conditions have gotten to him. When it's gone deep, it's been off, and he hasn't coordinated well with his wide receivers. So, Phelan is checking in.
3rd and 7, and so he lost yardage on that play.
He lost 2 yards.
Wow. Well, here we go. It's 2-down territory no matter what, so they can afford to...
Busa is going to throw it. Busa looking for targets. He's got Phelan.
Oh, he overthrew him. Well, there's 3:09 left. Do you punt the football? It looks like we're coming off the field. Oh, yeah, Chisholm's coming in. They're going to punt the ball away. They are going to punt the ball away.
Well, they may never get the ball back, but that was the drive they needed. That disappointing 2nd and 5 2-yard loss really cost them.
And Busa is explaining to Phelan that he was trying to get him the ball. Maybe Phelan did not run the correct route, but it looked pretty good to me. It just looked like Busa kind of overthrew him. Chisholm to punt. Booming punt.
Oh, that was a big catch.
Oh, and he slips out of bounds.
By number 27 on Lexington.
Well, Burlington has a short field to work with here, so one more touchdown, and we might as well just. And the fans look like they're heading for the exit 7, though.
Well, the decision to punt.
I don't know. Well, I mean, here's the thing. They probably wouldn't have made it on 4th down and 7. I mean, Jesse Spartacino is having an unbelievable game, but I just don't think he was going to get 7 yards on that 4th and 7. Everybody knew it was coming. I don't know.
Look at the field position. It's at the Lexington's 30. 33.
Well, I mean.
Ben Reid to throw. No, he gives it to Jake Deagle.
Nice dive by Deagle. Good recognition. He picked up extra yardage.
He's been there all day, and he's keeping on pounding the run, running down the clock.
Well, 2:53 left to go in this game, and a huge defensive play is needed in this situation, be it an interception, a fumble recovery, anything. Something needs to happen for the Minutemen to win this football game. They've had their chances, just like they've had their chances in every other game this season, but every time except for once, they've come up short.
Well, the biggest chance down at the 1, 3rd and 1, stuffed, 4th and 1, fumble. That was the play that they had to make. And, you know, everyone on the Lexington team knows they needed that play. You know, the game isn't completely over yet, but it's certainly looking favorable for Burlington. It will be 2nd and 8. 12:16 is the time, just after midday.
Well, once this game ends, another football game begins, as we well know. Again, Patriots game today at 12:30 on CBS. And more college football this weekend, as we've already said. Northeastern taking on Fordham at 12:30 on Saturday, and BC finishing up their season against Rutgers.
Well, here we go. They're looking for Daigle. Daigle, not much. Oh, if they want any shot, they need 2 stops because they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, speaking of Boston College, an excellent job by Tom O'Brien, who really put this football program back on the map after that really ugly scandal involving a couple football players. I believe that was about 4 or 5 years ago. But they have gone to a bowl game for 4 consecutive years, and they'll go to another one this year. So congratulations to everyone at Boston College for another successful year. Really put this program back on the map. College football is getting to be big here in Boston. As we said, Northeastern going to a 1AA playoffs, Boston College going to a bowl game. So this is going to be a great weekend of football here in Boston.
3rd and 7, both teams discussing it.
What would be even greater is if Lexington could somehow pull this out. That would make my day. And make the day of all these fans and all these players who have worked so hard and come up short. But a win against Burlington would definitely be a good starting note for next year. So the crowd getting the crowd is getting on their feet here and the support of the players. Here we go.
Here we go. It's a play action fake over the middle.
Oh! Oh, that was the big play.
That was about an inch away from being picked off. It was
Well,
tipped up for about 3 seconds in the middle of the defensive line. I'm amazed they didn't pick that one off.
Football is a game of inches, and that ball was inches away from being picked off. We said that they needed a big defensive play, and they had the chance to make it.
Football is a game of what ifs, you know. Right now, I'm thinking, God, what if we had just gotten that 3rd and 1 in the end zone, or that 4th and 1 in the end zone, or picked off that pass on that just play? Well, like I said, they're going to go for it. Jake Daigle, Joe Real should be the prime targets. 3 wide receivers. They look like they're going to throw, but I wouldn't cancel out the odds of them going to Jake Daigle. It's a play action.
And perfect play. First down. First down.
I knew it. I knew it. Play action pass, 3 wide out, so you go to Daigle.
And they're running out of time. Time is running out. 2:30 left to go. Excellent play action fake by Reid. Excellent run by Daigle. Simple as that. Lexington bit just like they were supposed to. And Burlington keeps the drive alive in hopes of sealing the game and bringing the trophy to Burlington this year. Well, Lexington, as we said, had their chances all game long.
They're actually ringing out the measurement stick, though.
Ah.
They're going to not give him the best ball spot because they say his knee went down before he stumbled, but it's a first.
First down anyway. First down anyway. Hey, Lexington has come up short all year. Not gotten the breaks at any point in the season, and why should today be any different?
Oh, we were all hoping it would, but it hasn't appeared to. It's on the 20-yard line. Clock is ticking.
2:24 left to go in the game. Hey, big defensive stop. There's still time. Solomon coming off the field now.
Yeah, I don't think Rosen will be going.
And that's for last time out. They're all out of timeouts. I wouldn't have done that.
Well, another first down. I think they can take a knee to get this one over with.
Well, we're not quite in that position yet. There's still 2:21.
Well, I know, but supposing that they get a couple of runs in there for the first down, then we'll be down to about a minute and a half, and then you could take knees, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they can run out most of the clock now. It's a tough game for Burlington.
Yes.
Lexington's really considering they're only 1-9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Lexington can't be too disappointed being 1-9, against a 6-4 good Burlington team. They've stayed in the game the whole time, had a chance to tie, came up short. Burlington's made a huge drive.
Yeah, but they wanted this game so bad, Jack. It would be such a way to salvage their season, and now it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
They're trying to get a strip.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah, they're just telling them to hold on to the football. That's why they're going to Joe Real, I think.
Clock is ticking. Did Burlington just call a timeout?
Wouldn't be likely.
Nope. Just checking in with the coach. 1:52 and counting here as Lexington's season is about to end, possibly at 1-10, bearing a miracle.
Well, the give once again. This time it's Daigle.
Yeah, first down. Or very close to it.
Well, he needed 8 yards. It'll be close to the first down.
26, Nabil Harvey.
Well, just under a minute 20 left to go. And with no timeouts, Lexington has really put themselves in a precarious situation. Such a disappointing way to end the season.
Ben Reid will give it to Daigle. Daigle.
First down. First down, and that's going to be it.
I don't know if it's a first down. He needed 5 yards.
Well, with 47 seconds left, it looks like it's just about over.
It'll be 4th and 3.
And all they have to do is just run out the clock.
30 seconds left. Lexington will, if they stop them, they'll get a shot at a Hail Mary. 4th and 3, here we go.
Actually, I don't even think we're going to have enough time to do that.
Well, a turnover stops the clock, but it's going to be 4th and 3. Did he get it?
Yep.
I'm not sure he did. He was running to the outside most of that time.
Nope, I guess we didn't.
No, they didn't. So Lexington will have 14 seconds, at most 2 throws, probably only 1. They'll need about an 85-yard Hail Mary. They'll probably look for Phelan or Aguomo. But Aguomo's not in the game, so probably Phelan.
Or maybe Jesse Spartacino can add to his legacy here by breaking off an 85-yard run. You never know.
Well, it's all safety defense. So Busa gonna throw. He takes it a little sooner than we thought. Incomplete. 10 seconds left.
Well, here we go.
Busa, 2 wideouts. Jeremy Dew and Phelan. Busa.
What is he
Throws
doing?
it close to Jeremy Dew. Jeremy Dew goes out of bounds with 4 seconds to go. No, he was looking at that scoreboard the whole time he was running, cutting out of bounds, just giving them one last play. They'll be at the 30-yard line. They need a 70-yard bomb into the end zone to tie up the game. Is the placement of the ball. 66-yard touchdown score of some sort is what they need.
I think we're just going to try and pitch it.
The reverse to Phelan. Thrown back to Busa. Long and deep and...
Pass interference!
Pass interference! Pass interference! Unbelievable! Lexington is alive. The pass interference call, the game can't end on a defensive penalty. Is it pass interference? Is it offensive pass interference, though?
Nope.
There is no time on the clock, however. The passing rules give Lexington one final play.
Well, hey, you never say die.
Well, we'll see what happens here. A better shot than they had before, but still not a great one. Ball on the 49-yard line.
Well, we're going to stand up right here because we're as excited as anyone. So no time left, but they get one more shot
Well, the
to
double
tie this.
reverse into the throw is what the last play call was.
Hey, why not?
No
Why not?
time on the clock, but they'll have one last play. Busa.
If they win.
Looks like they're doing the same thing. Play dead.
Play dead.
Game over.
So that's the ball game, and Burlington takes home the trophy. They beat Lexington 12-6.
They tried to do the same play, except play fake it as a run. Didn't work. Game over.
So that's A horrifying way to end the year. 1-10 for the Lexington Minutemen. For Max Rellinger, I'm Jack Joshi-Powell saying see you next year in what hopefully will be a better one.
And also, at this time, approaching midfield is Lexington.